What's going on, gardeners? It's Tuesday, November 16th, and believe it or not, it is only 4:59 p.m. here on the southeastern coast of North Carolina, and it's already getting dark out. It looks like it's about 8:30 at night. But you know, this is just the time of year that it is right now. It's getting dark, it's getting cold, and I'm getting depressed because I just don't like it when it's dark and cold like this. However, there is a silver lining to this point of the year, and that is the deciduous trees are starting to get dormant, namely our fig trees are starting to go dormant, so that means it is officially fig cutting season in many areas of the country. Now, just the other day, I posted a video about my top 10 favorite varieties of figs that will give you an incredibly diverse flavor where nothing overlaps and give you an incredibly long harvest season from as early as June to as potentially late as November. And I will link to that video above so you can see all of those varieties that I recommended. However, you may be thinking, well, it's great that you showed me all of these new varieties. Where do I get them? Because they're not just sitting at my local big box store. I need some help finding them. And honestly, many of you have been asking me for years, where do I buy all of my figs? And I've answered that question 100 times in the comments, and I don't know why I haven't made this video sooner. So instead of just repeating myself over and over again and wearing myself out, I'm going to create this video that will show you all of my favorite places to buy fig cuttings and fig trees to make things as easy as possible for you all. So let's get on with it. So now I'm going to show you all of my favorite places to buy fig cuttings and fig trees. However, I must let you know that because I'm based in the United States, while all of these locations do ship to the continental United States, I don't know if they will ship to Alaska and Hawaii and to international countries. So I apologize if they don't do international shipping or if they don't ship to Alaska and Hawaii. You'll have to check all of the locations individually. Now, I want to start with my favorite place of all to buy figs, and that is the website FigBid. FigBid is the best place on the entire internet to buy fig cuttings and fig trees all year long because it is kind of like the eBay of figs. It's populated with a ton of sellers such as myself that are fig fanatics and do a lot of collecting. So the overwhelming majority of sellers are legitimate, and you can check them based on their reviews. Now, they break down into various categories. They have fig trees, fig tree cuttings, etc. They even sell other pruning supplies, tree supplies, and other trees. Now, because we're in November, you can see things are heavily populated in fig cuttings, whereas once April starts rolling around, there's very few cuttings and there's a lot of fig trees. But just to give you an example, if you click on fig cuttings, you are going to get probably the best information or the best selection on the entire world, on the entire planet, for all of these different fig cuttings. And it's a really nice website. It's great to do business with. I highly recommend the website itself. Just make sure you do some research on the seller before you buy. I've never had any problems, and I built a lot of my collection based on the things on FigBid. Now, the only thing is, most things cannot be bought by Buy It Now. Most things are auction, so you will have to, so it's just like eBay in that regard. However, you can filter things if you only want to deal with fixed priced items or you want to buy on auction. Sometimes prices over auction can get high, sometimes they're given away for a steal. So it's a little bit of fun and it's a bit of a gamble. Now, for those of you that don't want to auction, I'm going to go and show you my other favorite websites for buying figs, namely Off the Beaten Path Nursery. I have bought many of my fig cuttings from Big Bill over at Off the Beaten Path Nursery. He has over 200 varieties of figs, and he is a great guy to do business with. Now, I'm highlighting them first because Big Bill is having his annual cutting sale this week, Friday, November 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's when he's going to have his cuttings populated. So make sure that you're on his website at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time, ready and waiting for the cutting sale to go live. He has a lot of great individual varieties, and like I said, he's a great guy, very fast shipping. He always gives you good quality cuttings, and I highly recommend patronizing Bill. Now, if you strike out on this cutting sale and you don't get the varieties that you want, or if Big Bill doesn't have the varieties you want to go to Harvey at Figaholics. Harvey has well over 300 different varieties of figs. He is the Bible of fig cuttings. And the awesome thing about Harvey is, if you click over on his cuttings page, he gives you all of his different varieties of figs, every single one of them. And man, he has a ton. So if you want in-depth descriptions, this is the place to go. And the great thing about it is, about 2 years ago, he spent a ton of time making hundreds of videos and filmed a YouTube video on pretty much every single variety that he has. So if you really like the description, simply click on his YouTube link. You will go to a very short video on the variety where he gives you a little description, and then he usually breaks it open. He shows you the interior of it, and it's really awesome stuff. So his website is basically the Bible of figs. Now the thing about Harvey is he's in Zone 9B, California, so his frosts and freezes come very late. So he has his fig cutting sale in mid-January. So what you need to do is you need to check back about once a week starting now, and then he will estimate when he will have his fig cutting sale coming, and he's usually pretty accurate as to when the sale goes live. So a great place to research and a wonderful guy to buy from, probably some of the best quality cuttings on the entire internet. Next, Will's Figs. WillsFigs.com. Will's, he owns the forum rFigs, which is probably the biggest fig forum on the entire internet. And he lives in Florida. He has a lot of cuttings, so if you go to fig cuttings here, you'll see all of the different varieties that he has. He has hundreds of them. If you go to shop and you go to cuttings, his fig sale went live a couple of weeks ago. So he probably has a good bit of these in stock. As you can see, he has really competitive prices. So if I just say I click on Celeste, you see you can add this to your cart right now. So if you want to buy Celeste cuttings, you can get them for $7 a piece at Will's website right now. So I've purchased Will's cuttings in the past. I haven't had an issue. He will also sell plants in April, I believe, and air layers usually when he has time to do it at some point in the early fall. It's too late for the fig plants and the air layers, but cuttings are live. Another great place to buy cuttings is from Tim at Threefold Farm. If you go over here to our fruit and then over to figs, how many varieties of figs does he have? Too many to mention. So he is a fig collector among other things. So what you want to do with him is you want to sign up for his mailing list, and he will email you when his cutting sales go live. Now I have never personally purchased fig cuttings from Tim. However, I've heard good things, and he does have a pretty good selection. So that is another option if you want to buy fig cuttings. Another popular place to buy figs is from Kremp. Kremp has a fair amount of fig cuttings, as you can see. Some of them are in stock, some of them are out of stock. He actually has a lot of things in stock right now. So look at this. Col de Dame Blanc from $17, Smith Fig from $20. Those are two figs that I just showed you in my video that I just published a few days ago on two of my favorite varieties. So he has them right now if you want to jump on top of them. So he has many pages worth of figs. See this, 5 pages full of figs right now. So really great place to look. I have never purchased fig cuttings from Kremp before. However, I've heard good things. I know of people that have bought them and they haven't had any problems. Now, if you don't want to buy cuttings and you just want the plants, you will pay more money because there's a lot more money to raise a plant and ship it than the fig cuttings. But a good place to buy fig plants is Just Fruits and Exotics Nursery. They have a great selection of items. They have a pretty nice selection of figs overall. Most of them are going to be out of stock at this point of the year, but as you can see, they do have some things still remaining in stock. Only a handful, but you know, if you want a Green Ashia, if you want a Hardy Chicago, they have them, Holly or Hunt. So they still have a good bit of things in stock. So if you want a live plant, it's great to do business with Just Fruits and Exotics. They are a great company based in Florida. They sell a ton of other things as well. And I purchased a persimmon from them in the past. Huge plant shipped to my door very quickly. Another option for buying fig plants is Bayflora. Bayflora, if you go over to fig trees, they have a smaller selection, but they have fig trees that, that many people do not carry. So if you want to buy a panache striped fig, they have that. If you want to buy a Peter's honey, which is quite a popular honey fig, they have that. So they have a few things to pick from. Sometimes they have more figs populated. They only keep the ones that they currently have in stock. And remember, it is pretty much the end of plant season, so it's amazing that they still have these things in stock. However, keep in mind, check back in the spring when nurseries often sell their bolus of plants, and you will probably be able to get a good selection off here as well. And finally, Burpee also sells fig trees. I have purchased fig trees from Burpee in the past. If you go over to FIGS, the fig trees that Burpee sells are overwhelmingly tissue culture figs. So if you don't want a tissue culture fig, you probably won't want to buy from Burpee. However, the tissue cultures are fine. I've had luck with them in the past. So they have very common and popular figs for inexpensive prices. So if you want to go get an Olympian for 22 bucks, you can do that right now. If you want to go get a Chicago Hardy for 22 bucks or a Violette de Bordeaux, you can do that right now. Just when you buy from Burpee, they pretty much always have a bunch of coupon codes for anywhere from 10 to 20% off. So always search on Google or Honey for some coupon codes before you buy from Burpee, because you can usually get a nice percentage off. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I sell fig cuttings as well. In fact, I forgot about myself, and that's why I'm filming in the garage right now, because I ran out of daylight. And I was just having a conversation with myself, and I told myself that I am a great guy to buy fig cuttings from, and that I've never given myself a single bad review. Now, all joking aside, I do offer fig cuttings every single January, because usually it's January when my fig trees go dormant here. So I always make a formal announcement to all of my subscribers with a formal YouTube video that my cutting sale is now live. Now, the nice thing about my fig cuttings is, obviously, you know that I own all of these varieties, and if you buy fig cuttings from me, you will be getting exactly what you paid for. And I also estimate that I will give you a fig cutting of lengths 6 to 10 inches with at least 3 nodes, but a lot of times you'll wind up getting more nodes than that. So I strive to do the best that I can to get you nice fig cuttings and ship them as quickly as possible. I ship everything USPS priority to get them to you as quickly as possible. Now, the downside to me is that I can only ship in the continental United States. Sorry to Alaska, Hawaii, and my international viewers, but I can only maintain the freshness within the borders of the continental United States. I'm not a nursery. I can't provide a phytosanitary certificate, and they would be destroyed by most customs in most countries, so I don't want to let anybody down. But if you'd like to get the varieties from me, I will offer them, like I said, in January. And my final recommendation for where you can be obtaining new varieties of figs is simply by trading for them. While it's true that in the beginning you're going to have to go out and buy your fig cuttings, once you get a pretty sizable collection of desirable varieties, there's no need in many cases to go out and spend money on new fig varieties. You can just go out and start trading for other new varieties with fig enthusiasts. This is where I recommend creating an account on the website ourfigs.com and being an active member and regularly contributing to the community. Make some community posts, let people know about the varieties, post some pictures, interact with people, and you will become a trusted member, and you can simply trade with other members in the trading section. So maybe you have Black Madeira or Smith or some of the Coldodons and other varieties that fig growers really enjoy. You can trade them with other people that want those varieties, and that's mostly what I do now. Now that I have so many great varieties in my yard, I simply take cuttings and I swap them 1 for 1 or 1 for 2 or 2 for 1 or whatever deals you can work out over private messages with people on the community, and then you can just build your collection pretty much free for you. You only have to basically pay for the USPS priority shipping. You can get flat rate mailers and send them out to the people as quickly as possible so they receive them as fresh as possible. And that is how you can build your collection once you get a little baseline of nice, desirable varieties. You can build your collection for just about free, and that is mainly what I do now. It's a great way to get the varieties that you want with spending spending very little money and also making some friends along the way. So everybody, I sure hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button and ring that notification bell so you're notified when I release more videos like these. If you're curious about any of the products I use in my garden, they're all linked down below in my Amazon storefront in the video description, and also check out my spread shop there for some custom made merch if you want to support the channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see all of you again on the next video. Okay, Dale, it's one of my favorite times of year, persimmon season. Come on, buddy. I love persimmons so much. Come on, eat the persimmon. All right, new strategy. Ready, buddy? Ready? Ha! Ah, come on. You love everything. Oh, ready? Ready? Ha! Ah. Well, I think we found the one food that Dale doesn't want. A persimmon. Oh, no. Don't make me trade you in for another model. I can't have a dog that doesn't love persimmons. Well, at least you love figs. At least you love figs, my buddy.